real estate fans. Welcome back to the Market Statistics Podcast. I'm Alice Lema. I'm a principal broker at Home and Land Real Estate, and we're ready to do our update for the week ending November 18th, 2025, all three counties in Southern Oregon. So let's start with Jackson County first. Prices year over year are down in Jackson County 12%. The average residential home now costing $482,475. The number of sold year over year in Jackson County are up 2%, basically neutral. We had 39 sold closings in Jackson County this week. The number of listings year over year are up 3%. We have 870 active listings just in Jackson County. We had 0 foreclosures that closed this week, 0 short sales that closed this week. And we did have $2 million plus properties that closed. One was in Ashland for $1.1 million, and one was in Talent for $1 million even. Josephine County prices year over year were up 11% this week. The average residential property in Josephine County now costing $514,430. The numbers sold year over year were down 20%. There were only 20 closings this week on Josephine County's residential market. The number of listings year over year were up 4% in Josephine County. We now have 399 active listings on SOMLS in Josephine County. We had 0 foreclosures that closed this week, 0 short sales that closed this week, and $0 million properties that closed this week in Josephine County residential market. Klamath County prices were down 12% year over year. The average residential property in Klamath now costing $264,500. The number of solds year over year in Klamath were basically even. We only had 10 closings in Klamath County. The number of listings year over year, however, were up 16%. There are now 395 active listings in Klamath County residential market. We did have 2 foreclosures that closed this week in Klamath County. We had one in Klamath Falls proper, which closed for $120,000, and we had one in Gilcrest, which is outside of Klamath proper, for $140,000. Congratulations to whoever snatched those 2 properties up. We had 0 short sales that closed and $0 million properties that closed in Klamath County this week. So what does this all mean? Well, as we've been talking about for over a year, the market correction is finally winding down, but it's winding down in a somewhat flat fashion. The prices in Jackson County are down year over year, 12%. That's just a little bit of a blip as we stabilize. The prices in Josephine County are up 11%, and in Klamath County, they're down 12%. So we're just bottoming out. In my opinion, the bulk of the correction is behind us, and we're looking into 2026, just more of the same. So for buyers, this is going to be, it's going to continue to be an opportunity for you because all 3 counties are showing increases in inventory. And this is always a supply and demand situation. Right now, we have more sellers in Southern Oregon than buyers, but we're working our way to kind of a neutral, more even playing field. That would be wonderful. We have not seen a normal neutral market in Southern Oregon since before COVID, and that's going on 5-6 years now. So the sellers, I know the sellers are a little bit grumpy because they're not getting as much money out of their property as they were during COVID or right after COVID. If you bought your house before 2019, then you have lots and lots of equity. If you purchased it since then, your equity will be slow to grow, but it will grow. Southern Oregon has a great reputation for not only having value, but being in demand. We have this beautiful wilderness around us. We have a lot of rural property that's still available for somewhat of a reasonable price. If you're from a bigger city or a more expensive area, we look very financially attractive. I can vouch for that. I know the locals are struggling a little bit. Because we have a lot of country people that live here and they want to grab some of that Southern Oregon lifestyle. But hang in there with the property you have. And if you want to talk about adding or selling what you have and buying something bigger or smaller or an investment, do give me a call, give me a text, and let's talk about it. My number is 541-301-7980. That's 541-301-7980. I want to be your agent. I'm a great listing agent, great buyer's agent, great with investments. I'm an investor myself, and I track all these counties. On the side, I also track Douglas County and Deschutes. That would be Bend and Roseburg. So that's what I do in my spare time. Anyway, give me a call, give me a text, and let's see what we want to do for your 2026 in real estate. Have a great weekend. Bye, folks.